Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome once again to my CRPG News Roundup, this time for May 3rd, 2025, where each week I took a look back at the week in computer and console role-playing game news and bring you the highlights. Once again, I'm going to have to cover my tabletop news on a different day, simply because my schedule is still packed, and because apparently I'm not allowed to get any rest anymore. I am now recording in a different room off of a laptop with a bunch of different equipment, because both my computer and my secondary backup computer are both in recovery mode for some reason. So rather than wait until tomorrow to get this done, I'm going to record it here. Thank you for bearing with me on all this. Now, onward towards the news, it looks like the Sea of Stars is getting a DLC to be released on May 20th called Throes of the Watchmaker. It will introduce a new game after the main game adventure with its own progression. Then, Game of Thrones King's Road is set to release on May 21st. It will be an action RPG targeting the PC and mobile platforms and will be a free-to-play title. It is currently available in early access. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster is getting a Switch 2 version. It looks like it will be a launch date title, so it'll be coming out on June 5th, and allow save data to be transferred from the original Switch version as long as you haven't got Switch 2 save data already on there. Also releasing in June is Crown Gambit, targeting the PC for June 18th. It will be a card-based RPG set in a fantasy world inspired by Celtic and Breton folklore. On June 19th, The Wandering Sword will be getting the Secrets of the Eastern Sea DLC. The Wandering Sword is a Chinese martial arts-based RPG. I believe it's in like the HD 2D format, which has been out for a couple of years now. A couple of the Harvest Moon games are going to get Nintendo Switch releases targeting July 3rd. They will be in a combined bundle and will be Harvest Moon The Lost Valley and Harvest Moon Skytree Village, both 3DS-era games. Every Day We Fight is set to release on July 10th, targeting the PC. It will be a tactical RPG/strategy game where you are a group of resistance fighters caught in a time loop trying to defend what's left of humanity. Wu Chang Falling Feathers is set for July 24th, targeting the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X/S. It will be an action RPG set in ancient China after the death of the last emperor of the Ming Dynasty. It looks like it'll have Souls-like elements. Mado Monogatari, Fia and the Wondrous Academy is targeting July 29th. It'll be a dungeon crawler in that series, and it'll be targeting the PS4, PS5, and the Switch. Fuga, Melodies of Steel 3 is getting a DLC. It'll be a crossover DLC featuring material from Sola Torobo Red the Hunter. There'll also be two more other pieces of DLC to be released in July and September respectively, with all three focusing on costumes for the various releases. Lost Soul Aside has been delayed until August 29th. It has you following the wielder of a shape-shifting weapon as he tries to save his sister and humanity from invaders. Borderlands 4 is slated for a September 12th release, latest in the looter-shooter series. It will have RPG-ish elements as before. I don't even consider these RPGs really, but I guess they are kind of, who knows. It does continue focusing on the Vault Hunters. Viractyl was announced, although no date has been set for its release yet. Focusing on the PC, it'll be a board game style RPG in both presentation and playstyle with both single player and co-op modes. The Age of Bharat will be an action-adventure RPG set in ancient India. While the release date is not set yet, it will be targeting the PC and perhaps some consoles. As far as actual releases go, Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader got a new free DLC. It is a weapon, the Sapper Shovel. Then Age of Reforging, The Freelands, was released. It is a medieval sandbox adventure RPG where you head out, gather teammates, try to survive, and craft your own legend in an open world. War Tales got its DLC, The Beast Hunt. It features a creature that awakens every decade or so to rampage across the land. Free Ride is an RPG adventure with a narrative focus in which you help others solve unfinished business in a sort of semi-looping story. Silent Fleet is a cooperative RPG with a focus on dungeon crawling and exploring unknown islands looking to craft magical artifacts. Rebellion, God's Soul Awakening is a card battling JRPG where you team up with various girls to face off against villains in various worlds. Immortal Farmer Systems Mandate is an adventure/farming sim RPG set in an apocalyptic world overrun by demons. Dark Pact is a turn-based tactical RPG with pixel graphics with a heavy focus on tactics and inspired by things like Fire Emblem, Advance Wars, but also Into the Breach. There is a demo available. Conquest Dark looks to be a survivor-style action RPG where you are set in a sword and sorcery-style world. Gloam Vault is a monster collector dungeon crawler wherein you can charm monsters you encounter to add to your party, as well as fuse monsters to create stronger ones. Idegard is a co-op RPG/adventure with a focus on shape-shifting into various animals inspired by Norwegian folklore, Norwegian Sami folklore. Navigating the Labyrinth is a party-based CRPG with a classic first-person view from the same person behind Into the Inferno and Across the Sands, the latter of which I got but never got a chance to review because everything hit the fan and has been going non-stop ever since from one crisis to the other, but I did have fun with the series. So far, they are very classic in the vein of wizardry and similar dungeon crawlers. If you like that old-school stuff, I do recommend them. Thrice Cursed is a roguelike game with Souls-like play where you can customize your character and send them through randomly ordered quests. And with that, let's move on to crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is no guarantee of even receiving a product. Mentioned here is not an endorsement, it is for informational purposes only. And we'll start with Undead Heirloom, which looks to be a roguelike bullet hell shooter RPG with pixel graphics in a classic retro style. There is a demo available. Then Prelude Dark Pain will be a tactical RPG in a dark fantasy world where you gather heroes to fight against an ancient evil. Scaredy Cat, The Tale of Boo will be an action RPG set in a cat kingdom, so there's that. Palix Transit will be a fantasy sci-fi RPG with classic turn-based style along with some platforming puzzles and so forth. Star Sand Island will be a life simulation sandbox, I'm presuming, RPG style game with that is inspired by Japanese animation. Echoes of Nymeria will have you exploring and finding secrets, starting your own family, and raising magical creatures in a world of floating islands. Remnants of Yore will be another of those cozy town-style sims where you run and repair an antique shop this time, not a farm. You can examine artifacts to find the spirits trapped within them, and there are apparently roguelite elements planned in there. Finally, there is Dragon Song Tavern, another cozy game, there's a lot of those this week, with a focus on farming, fishing, crafting, all while you manage a seaside tavern. And on that note, I'm going to wrap things up here. Links, as always, will be below. I'm hoping that I will be able to get back into recording some Let's Plays and some reviews in the coming weeks. Probably not this next week, but the week after, hopefully, because my mother will be coming home, hopefully, this week, and put a little bit of that nightmare behind us, although she still has some recovery to go. We're just happy that she's still with us. And, thank you for all. It's been a continuing saga, I know. Lesson learned, you got to watch elderly people with any kind of sickness, and because they can combine into really, really bad stuff really, really quick. Anyway, I will try to get my Tabletop RPG News Roundup. This has been my CRPG News Roundup for May 3rd, 2025. Until next time, take care and goodbye, and hopefully my main computer will be ready for the next one. And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribe Star, as well as channel memberships enabled. If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.